Close your eyes. See with mine.
Hey everybody, we're back with another movie review. Today we're reviewing A Wrinkle in Time, directed by Ava DuVernay. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Ava also directed and produced Queen Sugar. I know a lot of ladies out there are familiar with that show, and Selma. Today I'm wearing a little sugar and sparkle on my nails because this movie is all about sparkles and magic and fantasy. And
Fantasy.
And
a lot
science.
of fantasy.
And
Science, fantasy, hope, love, adventure, and believing in yourself.
Yep, the character, Meg, played by Storm Reed, she didn't really believe in herself. She was a little insecure about her looks, and she wasn't really that popular at school, and a lot of the girls would tease her.
Yeah, about her father.
About her father being, well,
missing. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
The actor Meg, which is the little girl, and her brother, Charles Wallace, and they always called him Charles Wallace. So their parents were doctors, physics, or something like that. They were kind of more like scientists, and they were pretty much always trying to figure out a way to bend time and transport from one galaxy to the next, but basically without any machines or any. It was all physics and power of the mind.
The girl, Meg, she was pretty down in the dumps because her dad was missing and they were very close. And she just didn't know why her dad left. So she was a little upset about that. I think her little brother was too. So there were three Mrs. Whatsit, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. Witch. They
kind
were
of like the three witches.
Yeah, they were in the universe, and I guess they could feel the kids' energy.
Yeah.
And they came down from the universe to kind of help them find their father, and they went on this magical journey to find their father. And this movie kind of reminded me of some childhood favorites like Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, one of your favorites.
Never Ending Story.
Never Ending Story. Yeah. Reminded me of
one
those.
One of my all-time favorites, Never Ending Story.
Yeah.
But not telling my age or anything, but if you know about the Never Ending Story, then you get it.
And a lot of people our age have read the book many moons ago. Many moons ago. But the Misses were these spiritual warriors that lived in the universe, right?
They were the light of the universe.
Yeah,
the happiness,
the
love, all of the mushy stuff. So they represented that. They were magical. They were able to do certain things and different things. And Mrs. Witch, who was played by Oprah Winfrey, she was the head of the Misses of the three.
Mrs. Who, played by Mindy Kaling. I think she also plays on the TV series The Office. She was Mrs. Who. She just, her role, I think she was a very smart Mrs. She read hundreds of books and she knew quotes by...
She always communicated with a quote. Anything she had to say, words of encouragement, any type of interacting, a conversation, her words was a quote of someone else's. So that was her whole role. Anything she said, it was either quoted by Einstein, Buddha. They even had one...
there was a hip-hop
quote, I think that
she
quoted "Get Goody Mob." So
yeah, so that was
cool. Was kind of funny.
Yeah, and Reese Witherspoon, she was Mrs. Whatsit?
Mrs. Whatsit.
She was kind of the quirky one, a little sarcastic too, and she really pushed Meg to believe in herself. You know, when Meg felt down, she was the one like, oh well. We didn't really believe in you. She was hard on her.
Yeah, it was kind of reverse psychology.
Yeah, and it worked in the end. It really worked in the end for the movie. So they guided her and her brother and Meg's friend through the universe to find their father. And in the end, they left them. They told them, you know, they were losing their strength. They couldn't go any further.
Because of the darkness.
Yeah, because of
the darkness. Which they called the It.
The It. And he kind of thought that the It could have had a better name. The It was basically fear. Just the fear that everyone's feeling, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or
In the universe, it was an actual force, but what
Yeah.
it did was it infected people with negative thoughts,
Yeah.
hatred, jealousy, violence, all of those things.
Everything was considered it.
Right. Everything negative was basically generated from this evil personality that cast all the bad thoughts out throughout the universe. And so the whole movie was pretty much like a fight between good and bad. And
very good message.
yeah, good message. The overall message was love, believe in yourself,
Forgiveness.
stay hopeful, and forgiveness. So the message itself was a pretty good message. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there,
Yeah.
could use the message. But I guess we'll go ahead and get into what we liked and what we didn't like about it, and I'll let you start first.
Well, I'll start with what we liked about it. Like we just said, we liked the message about forgiveness. Meg and her brother and her mother had to forgive her father for kind of abandoning them for something that he was interested in, for science, basically. Teaching girls to believe in themselves and to accept their differences, just because you don't look like, the popular girl or the girl next door doesn't mean that you're not a great person.
And to love yourself.
And to love yourself, right. And to believe in yourself, and that the mind is capable of many things. Like her father, he believed in his mind that he could touch the universe. So the movie showed that anything is possible if you just believe. So the message was awesome, but we were hoping to have a little bit more, from the movie, and we wanted to love it so much, but there were a couple of things that we didn't like, and I'll let you do that.
Okay, so
I'll let you take care of that part.
for that, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate for the movie. But give me 1 second. Pass the popcorn.
I'll take it.
Okay, so great. Here I go with the things that I didn't like about the movie, and to be perfectly honest, it was pretty much everything. I thought they did a terrible job with creativity. The acting wasn't good, really. I mean, the kids, they did a pretty good job. I said before, I think the little one, Charles Wallace, he pretty much stole the show with his personality. But everything was kind of basic and simple. And as far as creativity, they had $103 million budget. So I was kind of wondering where the money went. What did they do with the money? Because it was not really put together well. They had special effects. I'm a big special effects person, and I like things like that, computer graphics and however they put everything together. But one thing that the images looked pretty cool, but they pretty much rolled around on Brussels sprout. I mean, a head of cabbage, a lettuce, a piece of lettuce. I mean, they were talking to flowers, and then next thing you know, the flowers started flying away. And one of the misses turned, instead of a flying carpet, I mean, I would have rather turned into a flying carpet.
Or something that was a little more distinguished.
Yeah, I mean, she turned into a basket of lettuce. So, I mean, I just thought that they could have done more.
And that was Reese Witherspoon.
Yes, Reese Witherspoon. You played the best cabbage I've ever seen. But
flying cabbage.
But anyway, so it's just they didn't connect the dots for me. And then another thing, the It, which kind of reminded me of the Never Ending Story, did nothing. So it was supposed to be this massive dark force created by all the negative energy throughout the entire universe, travels faster than the speed of light. For this thing or nemesis or whatever it was to be such a powerful force, they destroyed it by saying, "I love you." And
that was it.
That was it. The acting wasn't really good.
And we love Oprah Winfrey. Everybody loves Oprah, but
Right.
her acting was subpar. It just wasn't what I expected from Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
Yeah.
As being such a prominent figure in who she is, and
She played in
especially the
movies.
classic movie Color Purple,
Yeah.
I thought that we would see more. She didn't have a role where she did a whole lot. She pretty much overseen everything and gave advice or told the other misses
Witches.
what to do. But it still was basically like we're standing here having a conversation. There wasn't any real acting going on. So for me, it's going to be hard to give it a thumbs up. I got to give it a thumbs down. It really wasn't that great. The movie itself
just wasn't there.
Yeah, it didn't reach it for me. So the reviews weren't really that great. I mean, the critics and the viewers both gave it low scores.
We did too. You
Yeah,
know.
we did too.
We are glad that we went to see the movie, like he said, but
don't mind supporting it. We like the theater, so
yeah. But I think we're gonna have to give this one a
thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Sorry.
Sorry, Wrinkle in Time. It was kind of boring. I was kind of wondering, okay, when are we gonna get there? And
never got
that's it. But if you love lettuce, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, anything like that, go see the movie.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.